welcome. My name is Sharon and others know me as Itu. Today I would like to share with you the everyday mistakes that we make that ruin our face or our skin, and basically just the barriers to having a clear face or clear skin. So we're going to be starting in the bathroom, and yeah, let's start. The first mistake that people do when in the bathroom regarding their face is to wash their face in the basin, and I'll tell you why. The basin is a place in the bathroom where people go and wash their hands, just like I did now after using the bathroom. You don't know what I was doing in there, but I basically came to the basin, washed my hands clean of whatever dirt and impurities were on there from me using the bathroom. Eek, I know. There's always going to be that residue or that stubborn dirt and the germs that stay and stick in there. Like people do Lord knows what in a basin, and it's not safe to just wash your face in there. So this is what I do when I just want to wash my face, especially before going to bed. Instead of rinsing my face in that whole basin full of water, I will just lean forward as usual and use the water coming from the tap itself to rinse my face. In other words, the stopper or the plug is not inserted or not pressed down, and so basically what I'm doing is using the free-flowing water from the tap to wash my face. That way there's a little contact with the germs that are in the basin, and also my skin stays germ-free. The next mistake that people do when it comes to their face of hygiene is that they will use the same cloth that they use for the rest of their body or to clean the rest of their bodies on their face or for their face. And this is for people that use cloths still to wash their bodies. You want to have two separate cloths that you clean your body with, one for the rest of your body and one for your face. The number one reason is that you have so much dirt all over your body. So by the time you get to your face, you try and clean it with that same cloth that you've been using in those nether regions and Lord knows where else, and even your feet that have been going all over the place. All of that goes onto your skin. And even if you start with your face, the dirt that stays on that cloth still stays there no matter how hard you wash it. So you definitely want to have two separate ones, one for your body and one for your face. Next up is wiping your face with any and every towel that you find, whether it's in your home or even worse in hotels. So when I travel, I try my best not to use any of those towels for wiping my body or cleaning my body, because I know that hundreds, thousands, even sometimes millions of people have used those same towels. And no matter what kind of detergent they use to clean those towels, they still have germs on them such as E. coli. And I remember watching a video on YouTube where a doctor was basically explaining this. You can't just use any and every towel to wipe your face with. And even if it's in your own home where you're so comfortable, it's even worse if you keep your towels in the bathroom, because the bathroom is like breeding ground for so many germs and bacteria that is really harmful to our skin. Now we're done with the bathroom, let's go over to the bedroom. In the bedroom, the number one enemy to you having a clear face or clear skin is your pillows. Your pillows are places or things that you put your face on when you sleep, and your hair goes on there. If you have pets that are welcome in your bedroom, they probably go on there as well. Like all sorts of things happen on your bed, especially on your pillow, mainly because of your hair, because of all of those hair products. And even if you wrap it up when you sleep, and I'll speak especially for me as a natural hair girl, I love to use oils on my hair, and whether I wrap my hair up in a silk or satin scarf, there will still be that bit that goes onto my pillow. Now the best thing to do with your pillows is to wash them regularly and make sure that you limit the amount of hair product you put into your hair when you go to sleep, but also restrict that area to being just for your face or your head. Since we're on that topic of hair, let's talk about your hair regimen, which is another one on the list. So with our hair regimen, I'm talking especially as a natural hair girl who loves using oils and all of that. Let's say I'm having my wash day. Power to the girls. But anyway, you know, the kind of vigorous washing and even like the products that we put on our hair, it does eventually come onto our face. I'm going to use a personal example again. I know that castor oil works wonders for my skin and I love it. My skin loves it. However, I love this other product for my hair that is called Black Jamaican Castor Oil. If you haven't heard about it, where have you been living? But anyway, I use it for my edges. And even though it's castor oil, even if the slightest drop goes onto my face, it causes a whole lot of irritation, and eventually in like a day or two, I will notice a pimple or two pop up because of that Jamaican black castor oil. So it's the same for all your other hair products. There are certain products that will irritate your skin but are good for your hair. So all I'm saying is that be careful of those products. And just adding to that, when you have those days when you apply oils or moisturize your hair, you want to wear a headband or something that will block that flow of product onto your face. No matter what you use, it will start running onto your face eventually. It might take a few hours or a few days, but trust me, it will happen. So for those first few days when you have that product in, make sure that you have something to block all that product from coming onto your skin and causing buildup and even irritation. Just an extra tip for those interested, what I like to do is that, let's say I have a day where I'm applying my oils or doing wash day. After I'm done with all of that, before I go to bed, I will wash my face again thoroughly with a deep cleanser, and then I will apply castor oil to my face because castor oil is a great cleanser for my skin. It will exfoliate and it will unclog my pores. It will prevent irritation as well. So I know that even if some product does come onto my face, it won't affect me as much because of that layer of castor oil on my face. Another thing you might want to consider doing is to identify which products cause the most irritation on your skin and maybe try to find an alternative and go off those products, which might be hard, but it is doable. The next enemy you want to consider is face masks. And yes, they are mandatory during these times that we are living in, but there are certain things that you can do to limit the amount of damage they do to your face. So I'm sure you've heard of the term maskne by now. If you haven't, it's basically acne caused by wearing your mask. So I myself experienced a bit of that at the beginning of lockdown, and I've sort of pinned down a few things that have helped to reduce it. So the first one is to make sure that you frequently clean your mask with a detergent that will not irritate your face. So the skin on our face is much sensitive than the skin on the rest of our bodies. So while you may have a detergent that works great on your clothes and doesn't irritate your skin at all, you might find that once you wash your face mask with that detergent, it will cause, or it might cause, some irritation to your skin. So test it out first and then try and see if it causes any irritation. But the most important thing to note here is that you must wash your mask frequently. Next thing I do in order to limit the amount of damage a mask does to my skin is that when I'm out in public, as soon as I find myself in a spot where maybe I'm alone, especially maybe in the car, I will just pull it off a bit up to like my chin so that my skin can breathe. And this will help to limit the amount of sweat that might clog your pores, as well as the dirt that might be on the mask itself. Remember, when you are pulling it down, don't touch your face. Just pull the mask down by the fabric, if I'm making sense. Next, I am sure that you have seen some of these masks that people wear. It's like goggles or something like that, but they're clear and they basically protect your whole face. I would recommend also that you try to invest in something like that. It's much friendlier to our skin and there's no irritation that will be caused. Our skin is free to breathe. There is no clogging up. So try to invest in something like that if you can. This last one might be the most difficult to change, and that is to limit the amount of hands, maybe even paws or furs for your animal lovers that touch your skin. With the amount of sanitizers that go onto our hands on a daily basis, and also the other things that we do with our hands, they become the biggest carriers of irritants, germs, and bacteria that can really be harmful to our skin. I don't know about you, I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but if I have sanitized and I touch my face, that causes a whole lot of irritation, and in fact the next day I will notice that a pimple will be up there as well. So it's something to take note of. Wash your hands frequently. Our hands do a whole lot of things, so washing your hands properly with warm or hot water and soap on a frequent basis during the day will really go a long way. So I hope that this was helpful. If it was, don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. That will really help me a lot. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.